and welcome to Racer TV. We're here at the Big Buck GNCC in Union, South Carolina. My name is Rachel Ayers. Joining me is Rodney Smith. Rodney, we've been coming to this track for over 10 years. It has a lot of spectators. Why do we keep coming back here?
I think one of the main reasons, Rachel, is the town gets behind this race so well. We have a lot of spectators, and overall it's a good woods course. It's got a lot of tight woods, it's got a lot of tree roots, and a lot of uphill and downhill. So it's a typical good GNCC. It's made for good racing.
So far in this series, we've seen 3 completely different podiums. It's been mixing up a lot. When do you think it's going to stabilize and the points start to even out?
Well, so far it seems like in the first 3 races we've had some podiums that we weren't really expecting other than Barry Hawk winning at the last race. And I think today is going to change. I think we're going to see David Knight that we've been expecting all year to be up on that podium, and I think Barry's going to be back up on that podium. And I think finally we're going to see what we kind of expected all year. And with this race, with the rain we had overnight, it's going to be a little bit more technical of a race, and I think that's going to bring out the guys that we expected to be up on front.
Well, the rain we kind of expected to come today, but what we didn't expect was for Shane Watts to show up on a Yamaha. Previously riding a KTM, shows up on a brand new manufacturer.
Yeah, definitely. We said GNCC racing is always so unknown, and it brings out a lot of different errors with the weather and the terrain. But who would ever expected Shane Watts to show up on a different bike 4 races into the season? So it's a silly season. We've had one going so far, and it's not stopping yet.
Well, today's going to be interesting. Just like the last couple races, we never know what's going to happen. Stay tuned for GNCC Racing.
All right, down here at the starting line for this, the Pirelli Big Buck GNCC, round 4 of the Grand National Cross Country Series. Now, the big story today, of course, as Rachel Rodney mentioned, Shane Watts switching over to the Yamaha. But there's a lot of other riders who are on familiar equipment who are trying to get that first win of the year. We've had 3 winners in the first 3 rounds. Will we have a 4th today? Certainly, you got to look at Glenn Carney of the FMS Suzuki team, who came inches from winning. In fact, led to the last corner in our last race in North Carolina. Glenn is back today. He's healthy, he's ready, and he's practiced in the mud, which might be a factor today. And don't forget David Knight, Charlie Mullins, a lot of contenders who have not won races yet this year. We don't know if we're going to see a repeat because we know there's a whole lot of other riders that are looking for their first win. Let's get out of the way. It's time to go racing.
All right, down on the starting line there is David Knight. Lots of pressure on him. Expected to come in and dominate this series. But instead, the points leader is Garrett Edmonston, a privateer on a Kawasaki, virtually unknown before the year began. Mullins, Watts, a lot of different stories going in this one. We are underway here at South Carolina. Riders down in a big pile in the first turn. Edmonston tangled up. You saw him just get through in the big green bike. Meanwhile, Jim Jarrett takes the lead from Mullins. Mullins got the whole shot, but Jarrett going by on the FMF Suzuki. And that is Knight there in the center of your screen in the pile. Knight is down in another horrible start. That's his Red Bull KTM teammate. Robbie Jenks down there as well, the number 7. So a disastrous early start of this thing for the KTM boys. Meanwhile, Hardy taking the lead early from Watts and Mullins. And the field already beginning to string out after the first couple of turns in the grass track section. Knight is going to have to work his way through virtually last. He's got a long way to go on this racetrack. And it's going to get tight as we get into the woods. And Mullins seizing the lead now on the factory and pro Yamaha. And Watts looks at home on his new Yamaha as well, the number 2 spot. There is Carney in 3rd. And you see what happens. We get in the woods, and now Mullins all by himself. And Watts can no longer see him. Mullins so fast early in these races. It's going to be hard for anyone to catch him. He is going to save a lot of energy, too. The rest of these guys are going to have to hang it out. Knight somehow just came through that screen, though, in 4th place. I don't know how he was able to pass probably 15 riders in the course of a few minutes. And now you see the big man from the Isle of Man stalking these guys. Meanwhile, let's talk to Mullins.
When I go to an OMA, Mid-East, any race like that, I seem to do really well, win. And I think it's kind of the pressure, the mind game too. When I go to the OMAs, it's just no pressure, just do my own thing. And kind of here, it's kind of like everybody's expecting me to win. But I try not to let that get to me, but I'm just going to try and ride with my head clear and hopefully see what happens.
We can tell you what's happening over the Big Buck Creek jump. Mullins out front, but somehow Knight has moved into the number 2 position after falling in the first turn. The Manxman, well, he's out here with a vengeance. He wants to win today.
You know, last 2 years have been trouble-free, real good, and I think it's just time that I'd look at all there is to it. Just got to be patient through it. Last race I thought everything would be alright, and then we had a few little trouble. So it's just you've got to wait, and I think once a win does come, then hopefully that'll be the end of it, and that'll be alright, and then it'll be all good from then on.
Well, no doubt the talent of David Knight, and he's showing it out here today with this come-from-behind effort, but he's got a long way to go to catch Mullins. Completely out of sight. Knight wheeling his way down the pit stretch. Likes to have fun out there, and you hear the KTM people cheering him, but he's got a long way to go to catch this guy. Mullins on fire, and he's got plenty of fans out here cheering him as well. The factory Yamaha Ampro team actually trains in the offseason at Randy Hawkins' house, not far from here in South Carolina. And their rider is in control of this one so far. Here is your Can-Am leaderboard. Paul Whibley all the way back in 10th place. Let's see if he can mount a comeback. Now time for our KTM Spotlight.
We're here in the KTM pits for the KTM Spotlight. Joining me is Sean Mundy, David Knight's mechanic. Sean, tell me a little bit about how you became a mechanic.
Well, I graduated high school in 04. I went to MMI, and then I started with Steve Hatch in 05, which I was friends with Rodney Harris. That led me to work with Steve Hatch. And then at the end of 05, Steve did not do the series after that, so I went to motocross and supercross. And then I got a call from Auntie to come to work for David Knight.
Run me through a week getting your bike ready for the next event.
Normally we get back on a Tuesday morning, and then we wash the truck and clean the inside of the truck and wash the bikes down. And then just tear everything down, and then Wednesday morning we get to cleaning on the motors and doing the frames. And then by Wednesday night, the bike's pretty much together.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with David.
I couldn't ask for a better guy to work for. We have fun, we get along well, He's got his girlfriend Charlotte, his mom's here this weekend, and they're all super great people. I got lucky and fortunate enough to go spend some time with David at his house before the season started, and it was quite good. We tested and got a lot of things situated, which was good for me and him, because we didn't know each other prior up to the event of the GNCCs.
What's your favorite part about working for KTM?
It's good. I've worked with quite a few teams in the past, and by far this has been my favorite one to work for. We all get along. It's family-oriented. We have a lot of fun, and it keeps it exciting. All right, I'm going to speak a little bit about the 3 legs on David's side panel here. It is actually Isle of Man flag, because it is a separate country from England. So it's a little different flag than what you may see in England. And here we got the heat wrap because the exhaust is so close to the tank. The fuel can boil with the heat off the pipe, so that's why we wrapped that. And then on our fuel system, we got 2 vent lines off of it with actually no one-way valve. But we got it looped around 6 times behind the front number plate. So like if you crash or fall over the fuel, it doesn't immediately come straight out. It stays in the loops. And if there's problems, it'll come back in. So.
Well, there you have it, inside the world of a KTM mechanic.
GNCC Racing on Versus. Brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and KTM. Back to the action here. Charlie Mullins continues to lead at this Pirelli Big Buck GNCC. But the big guy, David Knight, has been on a charge from the back. Here's Shane Watts trying to hold on. He's got a battle with Hawk, Glenn Carney. A lot of things running through the mind of Shane Watts today.
Your bike's good. I've had it for a week now. It's fine. It's no problem. I'm happy. And I know my time on the bike that I can be, once again, a top 5 contender for sure, and hopefully hit the podium. Yeah, for sure, I don't like riding the mud. No one really does because it's a lot of cleanup. I mean, I spend all day to clean my bike and have more chance of hurting my knees, which are pretty dodgy at the moment. But I'm just going to go out there, just like every other single race, go out and try my best, try and get a good start, roll along. It's a 3-hour race, so I don't need to be up front, the first couple of laps or anything like that. Try and go finish the race, and if I can get a good finish and beat the guy in front of me in points, I'll be leading the points. And who would have ever thought that Shane Watts would be leading the points after 4 rounds?
Well, that is a good point, but Edmiston and Watts experiencing good luck this year. Unlike a guy like Glenn Carney here, you see is stuck. And Carney's had his troubles at a couple of races this year. Well, this is what it comes down to. In GNCC racing, anything can happen. Those ruts at the bottom, they slowed Glenn Carney down, and once you lose momentum, you're done. Manages to get the bike going. That takes a lot of energy to push a 200-plus pound motorcycle and get the momentum going from a dead stop, and that's what Glenn has had to do. So what it comes down to is this year, guys like Watts and Edmiston have had the good luck The rest of these guys, Hawk, Knight, Mullins, they've had their troubles. But today, as Rodney Smith expected at the top of this program, it looks like the favorites are heading back toward the front of the pack. Let's hear from Hawk.
Yeah, the monkey's definitely off my back. We got a win in the last round, and seems like, I don't know, I've won a few races every year for the past, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, but finally got the win a little bit earlier this year than the past couple years, so it feels good, and just try and keep the ball rolling, try and be the first repeat winner.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him today with Mullins out front and Knight coming on a rail from the back of the pack. Hawk is going to have to dig down deep, and here he is, though, the veteran out of Pennsylvania. That is his specialty. He digs down deep late in the races and makes a charge. Let's see if he can get up to these guys. Mullins has gotten another lap in the books with a big lead. Knight in second. Now it's time for our Rocky Mountain Tip of the Week.
Here we have the G-Force adjustable width racing axle. Made from hardened chromoly steel, this axle is adjustable between 2 to 4 inches wide, wider than your stock. Comes complete with the Pawsey lock nut and the castle nuts. This is one of the best off-road axles available. Good for off-road GNCC type racing or motocross racing. Available exclusively at RockyMountainATV.com.
Back to the racing here. Mullins continues to lead. Here is Knight in second, and you see he's really starting to dig down deep. A lot of body English, and here's why. They're about to approach lap track. You can see Mullins has put riders between himself and Knight, and now Knight's going to have to hustle. You get too many of these riders between you. Oh boy, Knight's having his troubles getting through here, and that's why when he gets open racetrack, he's going to have to put in an all-out charge to get to Mullins. Now Charlie, I'm sure, is dealing with those lappers as well. Same thing with Hawk back here. And Hawk needs a bit of a break. He needs Knight to get tangled up a few more times. Look at Knight leaping off of that ledge. And all of a sudden, he has taken the lead. I'm not sure where he did it. But now Knight and Mullins in a battle coming down pit row. Mullins in for gas, and Knight has taken over the lead. So the comeback is complete. And everything we've heard about the skills of David Knight have finally come to the forefront today. Hawk also pulling in for fuel here in the Ampro Yamaha pit. That's a veteran crew. His wife, Kristen, on the right, and Doug Whitmer is mechanic on the left. You see Barry takes his goggles off of the hat of Doug Whitmer. A whole bunch of ways to skin a cat to get a quick pit stop. Everybody's got their techniques. Listen in with Shane Watts. All right, Watts getting some encouragement, trying to stay up in the hunt for the points race. We'll be back after this. GNCC Racing On Versus, brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and KTM.
Here we go, race fans. Here's where we stand right now. David Knight is currently in the lead, but trailing right on his back tire is Charlie Mullins from Hamilton, Ohio. He was leading, first 2 laps, had a little bit of problems, fell back. David Knight took over the lead, but he's fighting him brutally for that #1 position. Can't forget Barry Hawk running in 3rd. Shane Watts on a new Yamaha running in 4th. 3 Yamahas and a KTM. Let's see what happens.
All right, good report there, Rachel. Jason Wygant back up topside watching all this. And David Knight, well, he's been doing that all day, passing people, coming from all the way from pretty much dead last to take the lead. Mullins trying to stay with him. Let's talk to Knight's mechanic, Sean Mundy.
Yeah, we're standing pretty good. David's about 7.5 to 8 seconds ahead of Mullins. I think David can hang this pace to the end, so I'm feeling pretty good about it, and David's shaking his head good. So,
what's your pit strategy?
We're going to put a splash shoot towards the end. Last night was a good splash.
Mundy becoming a TV star here this week. Here's your battle a little bit further back in the pack. Jimmy Jarrett, who was up front early. You saw he made a pass on Mullins early in the race, made a wrong turn after that. He fought his way back. And Glenn Carney was the one that got stuck in that hill earlier. There's Emiston, your points leader in the series, trying to hold on for a top 10 finish. We go back up front with David Knight jumping the big Buck Creek jump like it was not even there. The fans are pumped about that section of the course. They want to see Mullins get back up there and challenge him. And he's not that far behind. Here it is. Mullins has caught him again. And with another lap of the books, we've got a 2-horse shootout here. Knight going through, Mullins going through, and we've got a race in our hands. Can the youngster out of Ohio fight back? More lap traffic to deal with for David Knight. That's going to help Mullins who's got some clear racetrack to try to make up time in the rider for the Isle of Man. There is Hawk trying to stay with them in third. One of the Suzuki riders going through. They're still battling. That's Jarrett and GK Glenn Carney. It's kind of like a day testing for the Suzuki guys. Still close between Knight and Mullins. Past the 3-mile mark of this one. In fact, there goes Mullins trying to make a move. Now back into the woods. Knighter, normally when you run that pace and come all the way through the pack, when you get up front, you get lost. You don't know what to do. You don't have anyone to challenge anymore. And maybe that's how come Mullins, after getting caught, has suddenly been able to hang with the big man. To the creek jump we come again. Mullins trying to keep the pressure on. Another thing to wonder about, Knight charging so hard early in this race to pass so many riders. How much energy did he use? Mullins was out front cruising. He wasn't using much energy, and he might have something for him late in this race. Hawk has been all alone in third all day long, trying to bust through that lap traffic. Oh, and Knight almost ran or did run into Donnie, his pit crew guy. There's Sean on the right, and the KTM people almost a disaster in the pits. There's that splash of gas that Mundy mentioned to us, and all systems go. Knight continuing to get away. He's actually extended it just a bit over Mullins now after those rounds of pit stops. Can Knight hold on and take his first? Stay with us. GNCC Racing on Versus, brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and KTM. Back to the action here from South Carolina. It's a full sprint down the stretch. It's crunch time, and David Knight and Charlie Mullins have broken away from this field. It's a one-on-one duel through lap traffic, ruts, trails, trees, rocks, you name it. These guys are letting it all hang out now. There is no tomorrow in this one, especially for Knight. He comes all the way through the pack and takes the lead, only to drop and give it back to Mullins. People are going to be questioning this guy. He's won all over the world for the last 2 years, and it's been nothing but frustration every time he comes here to the GNCC Tour. He can hold on, though, this time. All the doubters will be silenced, and you see Mullins working different lines on these hill climbs, hoping that Knight gets stuck or tangles with a lapper or makes an error. And that has also been the motto of this guy today, Barry Hawk, who's been hoping for a mistake from the leaders, and it has not come. Might be a private duel here over the Big Buck Creek jump. Mullins digging down deep, now into the pit road. And you hear the fans begin to come to life. They appreciate the effort that David Knight has put in today, coming from way back in the pack to take the lead. Mullins is going to fight him down the stretch here. The gap has actually gotten a little bit bigger than the last time we came through pit lane. 1 lap to go for Knight. Can he put the finishing touches on his first GNCC win in the U.S.? Mullins bumping that lap rider there. He is going to have to hustle. Knight has put some time on him. We'll see if Mullins has got a spot picked out. Was there something up his sleeve in this last lap that he can make work for him? This lap traffic out here, and a track that was just drenched in rain earlier. The ruts are deep, and if you venture into no man's land, it could be a disaster. But that's what Knight's going to have to do right now. This track is clogged with traffic, with mud in every direction. You see Mullins not giving up, still going through the gearbox in that Yamaha, trying to find a way to get back to the man who's leading it. And here he is, David Knight. So good in these technical conditions, these big ruts. Yeah, you see him just walking the bike through there. He's over 6 feet 4 inches tall, and he can basically walk the bike through these sections where the other riders get hung up. Oh, and Mullins, and that was a wing and a prayer through that section to try to hold on. He just gassed it, dumped the clutch, and hoped for the best. Now Hawk going to be smart about this, actually taking some advice from the spectators on the side of the course of the best way through. That wasn't as fast as Mullins, but it was a lot safer, and you see the thumbs up. Praising these people for giving the good lines, and this is what can happen. Rodney Smith, that's our man from the TV show, leading in the XC2 Lights class, has gotten stuck. And better luck next time through that section, Rodney. He almost went over the bars. So Rodney trying to hold down in an XC2 class. That's our 250F division. 1 notch below this. David Knight, XC1. This is the creme de la creme, and he has proven himself today. The World Enduro Champion is about to conquer the United States for the first time, and the Knighter, wheeling and a stopping through the finish line, has finally delivered. And this is bad news for the rest of these guys. The Knighter is on track. Mullins been in a great run, but he was not able to stop this charge by David Knight. Let's talk about
Yeah, good, you know. That should have been the result 2 weeks ago, you know, and just had a bit of bad luck with the bike. And today, stuck on the start line and I pinned it and then just didn't see a guy that was crashed there, straight into him, crashed again, and I hurt my shoulder a little bit and bent the clutch. So then it was just straighten that up and get going steady, and then I didn't even know I was in second place the first lap. And I just rode at a steady pace, and I knew that last lap I could just pin it and I'd be right. And I just rode pretty steady and, you know, not trying too hard, and worked out perfect.
Yeah, podium start off. I mean, I've been working hard and I really want to win, and I really thought today I felt like it, but I don't know. It's my luck, I guess. It's a bad day.
All right, David Knight on the podium. Not too bad of a day for Charlie Mullins, finishing second. And Shane Watts and Garrett Edmonston battled right to the end of this one. Edmonston remains your series points leader. But just like Rodney Smith said at the top of this show, the favorites, the guys like Mullins with your whole shot award here in second place, Knight and Hawk, the favorites in this series are beginning to move to the front. We also have our XC2 Lights class. They join us on the podium after these big boys. Congratulations out to Scotty Watkins, Josh Weisenfels, and Dustin Gibson taking the top 3 in the Lights class. And there those young men are there. For Rachel Ayers and Rodney Smith, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, riding, racing. AMA. Join now. Call 1-800-AMA-JOIN.